It's on its way. The countdown to Christmas and the new year. That time when we traditionally make some new resolutions. Resolutions to change our lives. But research shows that 8 out of 10 of us will fail to achieve those resolutions and we'll go on as we were. And you know, if it were about resolving to exercise more, give up your favourite treat or learn a new language, then you can appreciate that failure is almost too strong a word for it, and that as research shows, almost 80% of us go back to what's comfortable and familiar. You'll find psychologists and research firms online that cite any number of issues to explain away the massive failure rate of 80%. Anything from a lack of clarity to setting your expectations too high. But this year, I think it's different. We have all in one way or another put in a tough year. More challenging for some than others. And it's not a competition, but few have had it easy. When we go through something as problematic as the pandemic undoubtedly has been, we're presented with an opportunity, maybe even a reward for the stress and uncertainty that we've experienced. Here's my question. As we get ready for the midpoint of this pandemic, the limbo period between the vaccine and recovery, if you had the chance of a clean slate, what would you do differently next year? What are your resolutions for 2021? Will you hold on to any of the benefits you gained in lockdown? There were a few, maybe a reduced commute, the increase of family time, more autonomy in how you scheduled your work. You'll have your own list. We also have the downside, the loss of a job, the death of a loved one. And again, you'll know what your own list looks like. I'm reluctant to make New Year's resolutions at all because there's so much hype and pressure around them. Instead, I do the resolving right now, in the 2 weeks before the Christmas break. I choose to approach it more like an end-of-year review of what's gone very well and what has not, and what has exceeded my expectations, both in my business and personal life. What do you want to stop? What do you want to continue? We seem to be creatures of habit. There are lots of life coaches out there who will tell you that it takes 21 days to change a habit. We've had almost 300 this year. Will your new habits stick, or will you go back to the 2019 version of you? Some of the reasons we'll revert include that we may be sucked into the propaganda of noble goals. These are the goals that others set for us. They're usually focused on what others suggest are the goals we should achieve, and unless we've skin in the game, they're usually destined to fail. There's the first tip. If you're planning some changes, then make sure the goal is attractive to you. Don't worry, I'm not going to rattle off that smart mnemonic, the one beloved of course and seminar leaders. I never knew what time-bound meant anyway. No, I'm going to go for another version. Make the goal attractive and build in a testing period as well. As someone once said to me, forever is for now, until you get better data. The other reason your new you in 2021 might fail to appear is down to what Professor Robert Keegan in his book Immunity to Change refers to as our competing commitments or hidden fears. These are often down to the sunk costs that we have in maintaining the status quo and staying where we are right now, and our fears of what we would lose if we changed. According to Robert, until you take those fears out, examine them, and test the assumptions you have about them, then you're destined to stay exactly as you were.